Broncos guru, here we are. We got the ferries. And we got some whales blocking the entrance to
where the ferry goes. We're not always in charge of our operation, are we?
No, we absolutely are not, and the reality is docking a boat is already hard enough without some of the other challenges that get thrown at us. Welcome back, crew, to this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week, and today we're going to talk a little about that, some of the challenges that come with trying to get that boat tied up and docked at the end of the day, or getting it out of the water. Kind of like we'll see here, weather is definitely one of those trying factors. Anytime you're trying to launch or retrieve a boat, always want to make sure to check the weather. Now, one of the things we'll run into as issues when we try and get boats down to the dock are going to be things getting in your way from time to time. Sometimes the things that'll get in our way as we're trying to get the boat docked will be ourselves, though. Now, I'm not 100% sure if this one's a pontoon or a deck boat. Kind of hard for me to tell from here, but the reality is, if it's a pontoon, I'll give it to you guys. All of you who've always told me you can't sink a pontoon, you may be correct, but one thing's for sure, this crew's trying as hard as anybody to do it. Now, it may sound a little strange that docking a boat and the art of love go hand in hand, kind of like our captain shows you here, as he's just witnessed the love tap or the peck on the cheek, whichever you prefer. Now, there are some more aggressive maneuvers that people can use to dock their boat that fall into that love category, as our crew's gonna kind of show you here. Now, I've seen this one used on jet skis where people use this move to try and get the jet ski off the trailer, and of course we've seen bow thrusters. I'm just assuming this move is the stern thruster. The wildest part of this one is somehow it appears it works. I'm betting our next guy wishes he had a stern thruster. Now, you definitely know things have gotten out of hand when the boat's trying to dock and this cruise went ahead and dropped the anchor. Now, only if they could get somebody over to the dock, you know, kind of like we see down at the boat ramps where we see those people go out there and try and do that old leap of faith and make it onto the dock and get some lines across. Well, apparently that one doesn't always go well either. Heck, even when you have lines on the dock, sometimes if the captain's impatient, things can go wrong. Now, I would definitely say, as a captain, patience is key, but for some reason, most captains just don't have that patience. They always think the same thing. When things start to go a little bit wrong, they're not getting their way, they're always like, well, more throttle will solve the problem. Now, speaking of being a captain and having patience, sometimes we don't have a choice, we have to slow it down, take it a little easy, and try and determine our best course of action. And then, of course, we may have to enlist friends in versus using the whole horsepower and throttle method. But one thing I never recommend is using friends and the horsepower and throttle method. That one can have some negative results, especially in a situation like this. One, you never really know when the boat's all of a sudden going to decide it's good and it's ready to take off, and the next thing you know, you've got friends being left behind. Or two, one of your friends is back here pushing and all of a sudden they step in a low spot in the sand and the next thing you know, they fall. Lots can go wrong, and definitely don't do that. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Boneheaded Boaters of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Bryso, Captain Peyton Arison, Enzo Tiago, FC Cammons, John Frazier, Palou, Mike Kurtz, and Trent C. Drums did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.